Just think happy thoughts. Hang around with people who feel good mostly. Think of reasons to feel good. But mostly, I just get up looking for a reason to feel good and almost always find it immediately. And then I milk it. Some people will think that it's too simplistic, but as you begin to demonstrate how great you feel, and as they begin to see, especially those who know you, the things that they've been hearing you talk about, as they begin to see those things flowing into your experience, as they begin to see your prosperity improving and your laughter more obvious and common, and they begin to notice how clear-minded you are and what good timing you have, what good comedic timing, what good intellectual timing, what good psychological timing, just what good timing. It's going to be so noticeable. You are going to be such powerful demonstrators of those who have accessed and harnessed and directed the energy that creates worlds, that a sort of euphoric feeling of joyful invincibility is going to be yours, to the point that when people point out even the most serious seeming from their perspective of problems, you're going to stand solid in your knowing of all is wellness, and you're going to support them in the same way that Source supports you, by not freaking out because they have chosen a lower flying disc. And before you know it, you won't freak out when you find a lower flying disc either. You'll understand how it works. You'll understand that, this is just a step one moment, and that's all part of the process. I'm predominantly now, for the first several years of my life, I was predominantly in step 3, because I was born that way. Then those around me began insisting that I become more accountable, which meant try to compensate for their inability to stay on their disc. We hope you heard that in the way we meant it. So then I had sort of a rough ride for a while, where I was having predominantly step 1 moments. What are step 1 moments? Contrasting moments where I know what I don't want, so I know what I do want. I know what I don't want, so I know what I do want. So I was asking for quite a few years of my life. I was predominantly doing step 1 moments, stumbling accidentally into alignment, but not really knowing what I was doing. But it was a good plan, because during that step 1 phase of my life experience, all of you have passed through that now, I filled my vortex with all kinds of specifics that matter to me. And now you're in the step 3 phase of your life experience, where now getting on the high flying disc, that's your work, that's your work, that's your work, that's your work, that's your work. So I'm done, Abraham, I'm not going to create anymore. Oh no, because you're not going to stay on the high flying disc. You're going to dip, you're going to still have step 1 moments, but you're predominantly going to be living step 3 moments. Occasional step 1 moments, because you can't not expand. You want to continue to clarify, but predominantly step 3 moments. You see what we're getting at? How can I assure predominant step 3 moments? By making sure every day at least starts there. And if we have done the best sales job that we have ever done about anything, we've convinced you to at least give it a go, to at least try to see what happens. And we would so love a repeat of this gathering with these identical magnificent beings 30 days from today, to hear from you what has happened since you have found and established and maintained and enjoyed and understood what it feels like to be on that light-hearted, good-feeling, high-flying disc. Yeah. Have you ever been a pleaser? Esther is. Have you ever been a pleaser who cares deeply about those around you, and then found yourself in a room with 2 people who want 2 different things from you? Esther spent a little time with 2 little grandchildren who she adores, or she adored them more before she spent time with them. The vibrational version in her mind is blissful. But on this particular day, because of the shortness of the time that they were together, each of them wanted her undivided attention. And they are far enough in age, difference in age, that they don't really want to do the same thing. So Esther would suggest something, and one of them would say, yay, and the other one would say, boring. And Esther thought, I can't win here. I'm going to please one or the other of them. Whatever will I do? And then she decided to please herself. So she said, tell you what, I'm just going to do what I think is most fun. And anybody who wants to come with me, come on. It's the only answer. How do you please them unless there's only one? And even then, that one is fickle. Have you noticed? So have you ever lined yourself up to particularly please another, and then they go through some sort of transformation and they want something different from you? You keep standing on your head to try to please them. Do you know the majority of trouble that goes on in your world and in your individual lives is because you're looking for love in all the wrong places? You're looking for approval in all the wrong places. You're looking for guidance in all the wrong places. It exists in only one place. It is the relationship between you. And you can count on that every single time, because you were source energy before you came into this body. You had already become the synthesizing evidence and culmination of all of that magnificent life. You were pure, positive energy before you came into this body. And every moment that you've been here, you're asking for more improvement. And the source within you takes the best of what you ask for and holds it as the standard for you to make your way to. Sometimes people say, oh, if I just please myself, or if others just please themselves, would it not be a world of chaos? And we say, it would be a world of alignment. It would be a world of empowerment. It would be a world of security. You act out, you murder each other, you try to control one another, you abuse one another from your insecurity, not from your security. You are mean to each other from your place of hatred, not from your place of love. It is your disconnection with who you are that causes you to act out in all of those abhorrent ways. You do not need to worry about your world getting worse if you selfishly choose alignment with Source. And the good news is you don't have to wait for everybody else to figure it out, because law of attraction will help you achieve only the world that is a vibrational match to the vibrations that you practice and make chronically your own. It's not possible for someone to assert a negative experience into your experience. There is no law of assertion. This universe is based upon attraction. It's only inclusion based, which means you get what you think about. You get what you vibrate. We're just here to remind you, you might want to practice more. You might want to clean up your vibration. You might want to talk more about what you do want and less about what you don't want, because you know what most of you are doing? You're doing some of both, which means you're getting some of both. And you're getting a lot more of what you don't want than you deserve or than you want. And it's because we love you very much, you're sloppy with your thinking. It's because we love you very much, you don't care enough about how you feel. You gave that up early on when your mother said, care about how I feel. And we want you to leave here sort of with a new intention that says, it matters how I feel, and I'm working on how I feel, because I'm going to feel myself into alignment with who I really am. And you know what happens when you feel yourself into alignment with the Source, with the God, with the Spirit, with the furthest, most expanded version of who you are? You know what happens when you align with that? Oh, you are harnessing the power that creates worlds. Your leverage is enormous. The cooperative universe stampedes around you. You find people just knocking themselves out, people who are vibrationally equivalent to that which you are. When a bunch of you who are in the vortex, rendezvous, and law of attraction make sure you do, you have a thrilling, progressive, productive, effective experience. But when a bunch of you rendezvous outside the vortex, you have an argumentative, uncomfortable, disorganized, unproductive, miserable experience, you see. So some of you say, well, yeah, that's where I work. I work there. And how can I be different than where I work? And we say, by taking the bounce. By whenever your environment shows you something that you don't want, and it will all day, every day, there is an equivalent bounce to that, because the other side of the vibrational wave is always present. So when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And when you really know what you don't want, you really know what you do want. When you sort of know what you don't want, you sort of know what you do want. It's always an equivalent bounce. So when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. Then what you want to do, and you'll get better and better at it every day you try, you want to turn your attention to what you do want. Why do you want it? What would that feel like? In other words, you want to think more about what you do want and justify less why you want it. Because every moment of justifying or rationalization or defending is on the wrong side of the bounce. So you take the bounce, and what we want you to understand is those bounces are essential to the expansion of all that is. In other words, you came expressly to know what you don't want in order to know what you do want, because the expansion of the universe, the evolution of the source within you, is about this leading edge sifting, sorting process that you are all involved in. Humans have got it all wrong so much of the time when they believe that God is perfect and has sent you to figure out how to become perfect too. It's not like that. You are source energy here as creators, expanding the universe, expanding that which is source. And when you explore and ask, source expands immediately and calls you to the expansion also. And when you go, you love the process of going even more than the process of getting there. Moving in the direction of who you have become is the ecstasy. It's the passion of life. When you get there, you get another bounce, you see. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey. We're glad that you're here, and we're glad that you're mixing it up, and we're glad that you are finding things that you want, and we're glad that you are sometimes standing in places that you don't want to be. We're glad that you're allowing your life to put you in the places where you're asking important questions. And we want you to know that every question that you ask is an important question. We want to convey to you our appreciation for the part you are playing in this creative process. We want you to know that it is supposed to be as good for you as it is for us. But we can only convey to you in every way we know, and in every way that Esther can allow, how very, 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 very good it is for us. And it is our powerful desire that you find it that good for you. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain aware of you, interested in you, expecting good things for you, knowing that the path will unfold for you, knowing that you're going to like it when you find it, and desiring with everything that we are that you discover for yourself the basis of deliberate creation. Because creating by default is not that much fun. And creating deliberately is what we all live for. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain stubbornly, infinitely, eternally in the vortex.